Okay, I got a message from my recruiter. I've been waiting for this moment for so long, and it's definitely scary. Thank you for your interest in the UX designer role. Our available teams carefully reviewed your background and experience and decided not to proceed with your candidacy at this time. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I really don't have a good news to update because I just got rejected by Google after 6 rounds of interview. You might already know me because of my previous video that I made on the Google UX Design Certificate courses. However, this video is not only made for designers who want to get a design role, it is made for everybody in this crazy time in 2021 trying to find a job or make a job transition. Let me simply start with telling you about my application process. So I graduated from college in May 2021, and it has been 4 months since I graduated. I started my application process 2 months before graduation, so it has been 6 months since I started applying to things. I'm really looking for UX roles, user experience design roles, or product designer roles. Most opportunities out there, they require 3+ years of experience. So it has been really difficult for me to actually even get an interview. I think I've already applied to around at least 100 positions, probably 200 positions right now. And the total interview that I got is only 2. So if you get 1 interview from 100 applications, it's normal. It's not just you, it's also me, it's everybody. But there are definitely a few mistakes that I made during my application, and I hope you don't make. Well, in the beginning, I was really just focusing, taking on some certificate courses and also focusing on making my portfolio good and making my resume shine. But what I didn't do is I didn't really write a lot of cover letters. So for many jobs that I applied to, I didn't even send any cover letter. Another thing is that I didn't really ask for referrals. I was trying to, get all these LinkedIn connections and try to, ask people for help, for questions, but I didn't ask people for referral in the beginning. And later on, I realized that, it's not the right way to go. So I started to make sure I have all the solid cover letters, asking for referrals, and that's when my first interview came in. The recruiter called me and let me know that this position is really designed for people that has 3+ years of experience. And she was willing to help, but she said I had like tiny chance to actually get the position. And after 2 months or so, she told me that she decided to move me to the next round, which is the first round, by the way. So I got this interview opportunity with someone at WeWork. And then I was notified before even presenting my portfolio that I won't get a job because I didn't really have too much experience working with large companies and collaborating with engineers, PMs, almost none of those. My previous experience is mainly working for very early day startups and also internships and personal projects. And I was definitely upset because even though I know I have tiny chance to get in, I didn't know that I would get rejected before presenting my portfolio. So that is my first interview. And then I got a message from Google. This is because I asked for a referral from one of my university friends. And that is when, my expectation just reached from the bottom to the top of the ceiling. So this is a new grad role, and I feel like this is just designed exactly for people like me. And that is why I feel like I have more hope in this position. And I feel like probably Google, as a really well-established company, would have more trainings to support people like me. So my first round of interview went actually really better than I expected. The interviewer respected my personal project, and he asked me some follow-up questions. I was able to answer all of them, and we just had a conversation in a really casual form. And it was great. and I went to the second round of interview. The second round of interview with Google was really 5 interviews, one after another, starting with presentation of my portfolio, later on just 4 interviews, and one of them is a whiteboard challenge. So in the presentation, I wasn't feeling great. I was able to rush through my portfolio presentation and leave 10 minutes, but no single person asked me a single thing. And I think the following interviews went actually pretty well. I'm definitely not able to tell you the exact questions that I get. I pretty much said everything that I prepared. And what I prepared is pretty much stories of my collaboration experiences and also stories of all my past works. The whiteboard challenge, on the other hand, also went pretty well because I was able to practice it with one of my friends, and I had my template. I was able to draw some wireframes and ask a lot of questions, and the interviewer directly told me that I did great. And to be honest, when you have a second round of interview with a large company like Google, you will set your expectation really high. I was imagining what my life will be if I got this job, what can I do, and how can I start a new life with people at Google and make a lot of friends with people from Google. So I was doing a lot of daydreamings, but now the message hit me with a rejection. It's definitely a little bit harder to accept compared to, getting a rejection elsewhere. So let me just start with some messages for UX designers. You probably will encounter really tough difficulty of, finding a junior UX design role, because it seems like everyone is just wanting for people that has 3+ years of experience. And you probably will find a lot of, message online telling that even if it is asking for 3 years of experience, you should still go for it. But what they don't tell you is that you are very likely to be rejected. If you don't want to have too many heartbroken moments, what I suggest is that really focusing on applying to the junior roles, if you can find one, and making sure you have the mindset to accept rejection letters. Another thing for UX designers is regarding your portfolio. So I built up my portfolio through a design course by Google, by the way. The design course is made by Google. I followed their courses, their process, and made my portfolio. And I realized that most designers have strong opinions when it comes to personal project. For some of them, they are not willing to take personal project. But for others, they are willing to take it. But here's what you have to do if most of your cases are personal project. Prepare enough stories to back up that you actually have collaboration skills. For people who are still taking design courses or still making a portfolio, if you can put in more real life project or collaboration project or business project right now, do it. And then I'd love to say something to everyone who's trying to get a job right now. Let me start with some hardcore things. The hardcore thing that I want to say is, first of all, use a referral. If you use a referral, your chance of getting an interview is so much more higher than just applying by yourself. So if you can find a referral, find one. And by the way, people who give you a referral, they can also get benefit if you get in. So it's definitely okay to ask, your connection on LinkedIn for referral, even if you don't know them that well. Another thing is that if the application field can take cover letter, write one. I know there's companies out there saying that we believe your resume speaks for yourself. Bullshit. Write a cover letter. Just think through a recruiter point of view. Recruiters these days are also, having a tough time or maybe just done with life. And if they have a few applications with cover letters versus some applications that don't have cover letters, which direction would you pay more attention to? Then let me move to something that's not that hardcore, but I think it's really important for me to share it. Okay, another thing I want to say is that while I was on this application journey, I adopted this really weird mindset where I think everything started with after I got a job. After I got a job, I will start exercising. After I got a job, I will catch up with my friends. After I got a job, I will buy some plants and water those plants. After I got a job, I will start playing piano again. After I got the job, I will take this course on product management. After I got the job, I will make a video on how I got a job. Yeah. And this is such a horrible mindset. Why? Because job seeking has extremely high external dependency. You can control what you do, but you cannot control what others are doing. Maybe you are in a rush mindset and you are trying your best to get a job and send a lot of emails and applications, designing your portfolio and making everything polished. But maybe recruiters, on the other hand, are just walking their dogs, trying to take a vacation. What I'm trying to say is that, the job market is, after all, still about supply and demand. And this is a time where the supply is so much higher than the demand. You cannot control the demand by yourself. So it's better to start doing what you want to do right now. You never know when you are going to find a job. And a lot of things that you do while trying to get a job can actually benefit you for getting a job. If you are in a happier mood, or if you're in a more confident state, or connected state, it is probably more likely that you can attract more positive things. I remember Steve Jobs once said, you can only connect the dots backward. So for me, a lot of things happen in my life, and looking backward, I feel like they are the right path, even though they look like failure in the first glance. But now I'm a true believer that every failure is just a step to success, and you only need one success when it comes to job seeking in this stage. And by the way, now I feel like nothing is worse than being a full-time job seeker. A full-time job seeker is the hardest job of all time, probably as comparable as stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. But full-time job seeker, this is a job where you will have to work 24/7, and you probably won't hear back from what you do, and you still have just to do a lot of work that's kind of unnecessary. But anyways, I hope you like my video. This is not a really happy video, and it's definitely not a happy moment in my life, but I'm willing to share it with all of you, and I will definitely try my best to do what I can. I wish you all the luck, and I wish me all the luck, and we're here together. So don't forget to subscribe and like. See you next time.